People can claim that social media has had a good economic and, in some circumstances, social impact on society. Social media, in reality, is the worst thing that has ever happened to humankind. When we are behind a screen, it is so easy to communicate our worst ideas. When we place enough stimuli in people's faces, we can easily manipulate them. I could really make up an entire story right now that is absolutely untrue and post it on social media, and people would believe me. If we are persistent enough, we can make a whole group of people despise an entire population. We are so engrossed in technology that we are oblivious to who we have become as a result of it. On top of it all, people these days are so hung up on social media that they believe any news they read in social media platforms. There has been so many misconceptional controversies lately, and most of it has been spreading through social media. What we talk about and what we say to our friends and family matters a lot. It carries more weight than we think it does. Oftentimes when someone wants to start something new, we criticize their ideas and go straight to find out more flaws than try to help them find a better way to execute their plan. Consequently, if the person is mentally very strong, then they don't let this negativity in. However, in most cases the opposite happens. They start to feel demotivated and begin to overthink and feel that their plan may not be up to the standard. Instead of saying things like, quote, "Don't let what other people say weigh you down," we should be sending a clear message that negativity will not be tolerated. Of course, we shouldn't let ourselves be bothered with what other people are saying, but it is easier said than done. More importantly, such kind of behavior should no longer tolerate it. It's high time we all start to promote positivity. How you talk to someone doesn't only show your personality, but it also has a great impact on people around you. If you are constantly offending people around you and being rude to them, it puts a big amount of stress in their lives as well. It is very easy to get influenced by negativity than it is to be by positivity, and this is mostly because people tend to believe they are more likely to fail than they are to succeed. Therefore, when you're surrounded with negative people around you, life seems more unbearable. Thus, it's not just important to behave good for yourself, but it is also for the society and kids. Most of the younger people these days are waking up very late and going to bed late. Those of who has to wake up early due to work/school, they end up taking long naps in the evening and then staying up late very late. In addition, they are also consuming large amounts of unhealthy food, mostly in the form of fast food and excessive sugar. Not fueling their body with proper sleep and nutrition is also making them very lazy and not very productive. In addition, they end up being cranky most of the time. School and work performance starts to degrade, and they start to feel lost. By not following a proper routine is also depriving them of a decent amount of physical activities required to maintain a balanced health in life. Oftentimes we see youngsters giving up on their dreams very easily, thinking nothing will happen for them. What is important is that these young people need a good role model to follow, or a good mentor who can tell them that in order for something to happen we have to make it happen. It is perfectly fine to fail. Failing will only get us more experience and help us to achieve further great things in life. What is not okay is to give up at the slightest chance of failing. In order to fix this issue, we need to constantly support these people and give them hope. We need to mentor them in such a way that we can learn from them after a few years. Recently, I have been noticing people normalize drug habits and making it seem like that it is a person's right to live a life the way they want to, as long as they don't harm anyone else. Of course, in some cases what drug users are doing isn't harming others, but in most cases more other people, non-drug users, are getting curious about the feeling that comes from using substances. Recently, I have been noticing people normalize drug habits and making it seem like that it is a person's right to live a life the way they want to, as long as they don't harm anyone else. Of course, in some cases what drug users are doing isn't harming others, but in most cases more other people, non-drug users, are getting curious about the feeling that comes from using substances. They begin to try different type of drugs, and eventually they get hooked up on it. In addition, there are fast food companies that are promoting unhealthy food with great methods. Both are harming individuals both mentally and physically. It's high time we stop promoting these habits and promote healthier habits instead. For example, fast food companies can invest more to find out healthier versions of the food they are making, while friends and relatives of drug users can help them get rehabilitated and try to divert their mind in other activities instead of normalizing their habits for the sake of letting them live their life. judging people by what they are wearing. Of course, I would not suggest someone to wear shorts to an office meeting, but judging someone because they're not wearing a well-known brand is very disheartening. No popular brand has reached their current state in a day. When we are judging someone for not wearing a luxurious brand, we are not just bullying them, we are also not letting a brand climb up the world. We are letting established brands become more established, and we are cutting out the competition. Not opening up. Most people in their 20s these days are afraid of opening up to their loved ones. This is due to a number of reasons, but the two most fundamental ones are: these days betrayals are such a common part of everyone's lives that whenever we hear someone got betrayed, we say things like, "This is life." We just tell the person to forget what happened and move on. We don't realize that not processing these thoughts are making people carry this weight around, and eventually they are not able to process things the right way, and it makes it difficult for them to be open about their feelings. Ghosting. This is such an unhealthy culture people are following these days, and the worst part is they don't realize how bad this is. Just because we are not okay with someone's opinion, or our views don't match with theirs, doesn't mean we get to leave them without talking to them about it. It is perfectly okay if we don't feel like associating with some people due to personal reasons, but we should always sit them down and explain our problems to them. Ghosting them makes them doubt themselves, and eventually they are scared of letting people in. Education. Recently, many education centers are making education a business, and they're feeding so much unnecessary information to these kids, but they are not teaching the main concepts in life. Money management, a crucial part of everyone's lives, is not taught at schools. Business students are given specific topics to present the school with ideas on what kind of business they wish to start and what strategies they can implement to launch it effectively. However, most schools does not take the initiative to help as students start these businesses in real life. They could even make these presentations sort of like a competition, where the highest score achiever will be able to start a business with the school's authorization and guidance. This will help them gain experience as well as boost their confidence. Our education systems needs to be based on more realistic situations.